Okay, let's have a look at the foreign exchange markets then now. This is the picture on euro dollar, 138.47 or so. That's where we're trading. We've seen a great deal of well, perhaps not as much reaction as we might have expected in foreign exchange markets as a result of what's been happening in Egypt. Let's have a look at the dollar yen then as well, shall we? Dollar yen currently trading at 81.49. Stuart Oakley is head of emerging markets FX and joins us at RBS, I should say, and he joins us now from Singapore. Thanks very much for joining us, Stuart. Let's talk about the reaction to the Egypt crisis, because we saw a little bit of reaction on Friday, it seemed, but now the markets seem to put it firmly behind them. We're looking at a euro dollar above the 138 level. I mean, this just continues to go upwards. Are you surprised by the lack of reaction perhaps we're seeing?
Oh, I am actually, yes. I mean, we expected risk currencies and risk assets to not fare quite as well as they have done this week. And once again, we've walked in this morning and the market is still in buoyant mood. It's still looking to own risk currencies and risk assets and preferring to shall we say, ignore the situation in the Middle East and place a greater focus on the data out of the US, which of course was very strong last night. Our message that we're very keen to give to our investors at RBS is, yes, it's okay to stay long Asian currencies with high growth, but we urge our investors to be selective.
Yeah, being selective seems to be key, because we have price pressures going up in many parts of Asia. We saw the inflation number out of South Korea, Indonesia, and in fact we've got a rate decision out of Indonesia, and that market has been selling off because of these upward price pressures. What do you think? Which Asian central bank really needs to move quickly?
Well, I think it's interesting you mentioned Indonesia. I think the chances of a 25 basis point rate hike on Friday have certainly gone up. But, let's look at what really matters to the Indo. We have about 600 basis points of risk premium now priced in right across the curve. We have a currency that just doesn't move. The central bank do a tremendous job in managing volatility there. We believe that if you have another sell-off in Indo assets, that investors are going to come in.
How much they need to move? I mean, we saw raw food-related inflation close to 20%. That is mind-blowing to me.
Well, the market is definitely focusing on this inflation story and ignoring, other positive aspects of this economy. Namely, they have a very strong government. Fiscally, they're very healthy. They have a lot of reserves. We believe the currency will continue to be very tightly managed by the central bank, and investors will find the yield there irresistible. We think another 50 basis points sell-off across assets, and we will see very strong buying.
Wow, okay. Jackie?
Stuart, I just want to jump in here and talk about the Sing dollar. It is at a historic high, but you also mentioned that it's a safe haven. So tell me about that.
Well, we can't get enough of Sing dollars at the moment. I mean, as a currency, we think it's a fantastic play for this year. We are long Sing dollars. We are looking to buy more if we see any further weakness.
Like 127 against the U.S. Where do we go from here? We were already, letting out our shock and awe when it hit 128.
Well, I think the funding side is the absolute key here. I mentioned we're long Sing dollars, but we're long Sing dollars against the US dollar and the euro. Now, against that basket, that trade returned 13% last year with very, very little volatility. It's a terrific Sharpe ratio. We believe that feat is going to be repeated this year. But more importantly, we think the MAS is certainly going to move and speed up the appreciation of the Sing within the next few months, because they need to tackle inflation, which is obviously a big problem here. I see it every day when I go out and buy my lunch. It is a real issue.
Tell me about it. Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to have to leave it there. Thanks and goodbye to Stuart Oakley of RBS.